Greetings and welcome to this sneak peek into ICWA's panel discussion on AITrix, Discourse and Counter-Discourse on AI in Global Politics. I'm Avni Sablok, Research Associate and Social Media Coordinator at the Council, and it is my pleasure to interact with the expert panelists for this panel discussion. We have with us Mr. Ajay Lele, Deputy Director General, Manohar Parrikar Institute for Defense Studies and Analysis. Welcome to the Council, sir. What, according to you, are the most dominant geopolitical, economic, and social issues that the world is facing with the coming of AI? How critical is it to discuss the counter narratives while discussing AI in global politics? Can you describe India's position in this global AI debate? Your take, sir.
I think as far as geopolitical issues are concerned, I will club them with geostrategic issues also. This is essentially because the entire AI debate has been taken over in a geopolitical space by the issues related to lethal autonomous weapon systems. Because the moment you get AI into a warfare, it becomes a major issue of a concern. So now parallels have been drawn with the age-old nuclear debate, where people were talking of a nuclear race. So right now people are talking of an AI race, particularly in the context of use of AI into a military domain. As far as social issues are concerned, I think more importantly, what one has to look at the issues like job issues, which are related with AI. There is a fear in the minds of the people that because of the advent of AI and the strength of AI is so much that there could be a loss of job. But I think we youth need to understand that the same type of activities used to happen when the computers were introduced a couple of decades back, but hardly any jobs were lost. So we will have to retrain ourselves, we have to reskill ourselves and take AI in a very positive fashion because it has got tremendous amount of utility beyond military domain. And that utility will be for the societal development purposes, be it education, be it medicine, be it agriculture, be it industry also. As far as India's take on AI is concerned in the context of counter narratives, I think it is very important not to allow AI to be governed only by 2 to 3 major powers who are technologically and financially superior. India needs to develop a counter narrative which will be based on India's policies of global south, which will have a major focus on how to use AI for the betterment of a society. I think in a policy spectrum, India is taking very positive steps. India is very proactive as far as debates and discourses on AI are concerned. More importantly, Prime Minister was co-chair in the Paris, and now we are going to host the AI summit next. So India has got a major responsibility to take the people along, to take the countries, the like-minded countries along, and develop a global system which will actually govern the AI. So global governance in the area of AI is very important. And I think there is a case for India to take a lead in this direction.
Thank you for your insightful perspective, sir. Thank you. We have with us Dr. Soham Das, Assistant Professor, OP Jindal University. Welcome to the Council, sir. So, how is AI and national security interconnected? And in the context of data, how data forms the core of AI and how through AI, data is shaping democracies, deepening north-south divisions because of the data colonization. Your take.
The way I look at AI, it's more like a synthetic consciousness. Consciousness itself is stale, but the moment we put it to use, that's where it either harms or can enable further. AI includes large language models, AI models, data models, in the physical aspect, drones, physical capabilities. But the AI has democratized all these to a very individual level where perhaps our national security frameworks and the way we look at national security has faced some challenges. It's more like blurring the civil-military lines, in my personal opinion. AI is based on data. Data is information of ourselves. When we put it to the internet or in any platform, the way it interferes with behavior, whether it is commercial or political, it becomes a two-way process, especially when it comes to political behavior, voting behavior, campaigns, polarization. It is not only the traditional security aspects, national security aspects, but also the non-traditional national security aspects. So that's where AI and national security kind of interacts with each other. And beyond security, the democratic aspects, the values of the society, that human behavior would be natural process, political behavior would be natural process. But in the case of here, what we see is predictive analysis, analyzing political behavior or shaping campaigns for that. Misinformation, very important. These are the factors which challenges us in a number of manners.
Thank you. Thank you for your perspective. We have with us Dr. Anulekha Nandi, Fellow, Center for Security, Strategy and Technology, ORF. Welcome to the Council, ma'am. What are the rules, principles, norms, institutions being discussed with respect to AI at bilateral, regional, and multilateral organizations? Under the ethics of AI, what key questions are being asked with respect to data privacy, human rights, among others? And what role India can play in developing ethical standards?
Thank you so much for having me here today. And I think when we're talking about the global governance of AI, as you just raised, I think what we are seeing increasingly is that there's a convergence in principles and norms. However, in practice is where we see the fragmentation. So while there is consensus on principles like transparency, accountability, equity, access, and economic development, AI for economic development, what we are increasingly seeing is that translating those principles into practice is where states are coming up with either their own approaches or having to respond to renewed geopolitical realities. And as a result, what we see are four broad approaches to AI development and governance globally. One is that of the United States, which kind of has taken a more pro-innovation and deregulatory approach with its AI action plan. China, which is taking a more active role which proposes to take a more active role in global AI governance and multilateralism. We have a renewed, emergence of the global South through the BRICS declaration on AI. And we finally have the EU approach. And because it's the strongest, it kind of indicates a high level of regulatory diffusion. And within these four approaches, what we see is what we need to consider are where the AI resources are concentrated and what kind of powers that confers. So within the concentration of AI resources between the two AI superpowers, India and China, what space does it accord to the global South? Mm-hmm. And in here, India has a key role to play, particularly with the upcoming AI Impact Summit. There is a huge potential for middle powers to kind of come together and leverage their unique capabilities, unique and niche capabilities. And the AI Impact Summit actually provides a platform for that. And India has had a template of kind of taking DPI, digital public infrastructures, and translating it to a global development vehicle. And I think kind of building on those successes, it has a really positive role to play, particularly in kind of bringing the voices of the global South together, their priorities together within the wider development agenda through the AI Impact Summit.
Thank you for your detailed perspective. Thank you. We have with us Mr. Aditya Sharma, Chief Technology Officer, Lexonic. Welcome to the Council, sir.
Thank you.
To what extent AI is influencing economic development through predictive capabilities, real-time optimization, predictive AI models, risk mitigation, and transforming supply chains? What it means for India Also, if you can throw some light on the rise of platform economies and its interaction with AI.
Okay. So I would like to break question different segment as you have asked. When we talk about AI and economic development, I would say we should not be only focusing on transforming our work. We should be thinking about like how it is transforming our foresight.
Right.
For example, when you talk about predictive analytics, I will give a small example like how as a company we are working in different segments. Say, for example, in water and sewerage segment, you use a different chemical dosing. And earlier, like its dosing can be done either through just tapping the chemical directly into the flow, or you can use AI. Like over here, like different factors are involved. For example, climate is also one of the factor. So obviously, we have different seasons: summers, rain, and say winter. So obviously, the amount depends on various factors. When we talk about human, only like they can't consider all those factors. But when we talk about LLMs, we can use AI to train the data that we are getting through the different seasons and dose the chemicals accordingly. So that's just one example. Similarly, when we talk about predictive capabilities, obviously we have different examples in healthcare wherein people are using AI to understand their health pattern. For example, like how, for example, you must have not heard about different devices like wearables, wherein people are factoring their basic parameters. Say, for example, how stress can influence their working style. For example, we are working on one device for a client, obviously, wherein they are using your stress data to soothe you or lower your stress. How they are doing it? They are continuously monitoring their blood pressure as well as their heart rate data, and accordingly, there is a correlation that we are trying to establish over there, and accordingly, they are trying to customize the playlist. So obviously, many people say music suits people, right? So that's one of the things that we are trying to use, inculcate AI in different segments. Similarly, when we have example of agriculture and how, as you mentioned about supply chain. So consider like right now, primarily like we were having the MSMEs and agriculture sector, and obviously AI is transforming the supply chains over there. For example, as we have seen in recent years, how Uttar Pradesh, like our headquarters in Uttar Pradesh, and we have seen like how MSMEs are transforming the state economy. Can you imagine like if we have an industrial corridor, like for example, government of India is planning a industrial corridor between Delhi and Mumbai, right? So if we connected everything and if we have real-time data like how trucks are mobilizing, how we can reduce the fuel cost and how emissions can be controlled. And all this is possible with AI right now. We have sufficient data at the moment. And now when we talk about platform economies, obviously we have seen when we talk about gig workers, went of companies like Zomato, Uber, or Ola, and even ONDC is also transforming e-commerce players. So over there, if we have all the factors data like what are the opportunities and how we can train those people, so that will be a very beneficial, and AI is capable of doing that. Although we have seen in initial stages, it seems like AI may have an impact on job creation, and obviously like anybody will think about it. But even I had the same thought a couple of years back, but after realizing the potential, like we have to think from the positive way, like say how we can use AI in different segments wherein we are not even touching right now. Say how AI can be used to predict the agriculture, improve the agriculture yield of farmers. So those things can be done. Like obviously everything has positive and negatives. We have to think about the positives. That should be helpful.
We have with us Ms. Anubha Gupta, Research Associate at the Indian Council of World Affairs. Her area of focus at the Council is cybersecurity and emerging technologies. Anubha, why is it important to discuss AI in global politics? What one parameter, in your belief, should guide the rise of AI in global politics?
Thank you for the question, Avni. To answer the first part of your question, I would like to quote lead scientist of Manhattan Project, Professor Oppenheimer, who, upon seeing the detonation of the first nuclear weapon, was heard murmuring, "Now I am the death destroyer of the world," a line from the Indian scripture. This line reflects his dilemma that he could foresee for the humanity with respect to national security and ethics vis-a-vis nuclear weapons. Similarly, today AI is everywhere, and academicians, scientists, etc., all over the world are warning us regarding the advent of AI. the importance of why AI in global politics lies in the role what AI is doing to the global politics, from defense to the wars to economics to climate to human rights to global governance, etc. AI is everywhere. AI is no longer a future concern. Let me give you a few examples. Both Russia and Ukraine are increasingly and heavily using AI during the war. Ukraine is using per month 50,000 videos, AI videos to track and map the enemy frontline positions. Today only in the headlines there was invite from Indian Prime Minister to PM of Canada regarding the AI summit that is happening in India in February. Also, with respect to elections in Gabon, the military unsuccessful coup used the deepfake videos to cite that the leader is no longer fit to rule. Also, there has been algorithmic protests by Gen Z in South Asia, beginning from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, and these algorithms are pushing viral videos during the protest and helping the protest take its foot. So, these are few examples where we can really see the practice of AI and its integration with global politics. To answer the second part of your question, in my opinion, principles of ethics, empowerment, transparency, justice, and equality should guide the rise of AI in global politics, especially war. Integrated humanism, where humans integrated with environment, animals, etc., should guide the rise of AI. For example, Bhashini, an AI-powered language translation platform, is breaking the silos of digital inaccessibility in India. I'll end by saying that AI's progression should not be an afterthought like nuclear. Ethics should be inbuilt from the very beginning, and it should begin today. Thank you.
Thank you, Anubhav. Very detailed perspective. To learn more about the panel discussion and listen to our expert panelists, do visit our YouTube channel. Thank you.